what was right in this case?
Absolutely. I think the Catholic Church was just following what is standard operating procedure in any professional world. You have somebody who's done something that is, first of all, there are moral questions about it. Secondly, it conflicts with the policy of the organization itself, with the stated policy. This is natural. There's a suspension so that there can be an investigation, so that people can follow up. There's a suspension so that there isn't a cover-up, so that we get all the facts out there. No one's saying that he's basically innocent until proven guilty, but there has to be a policy.
Well, Brendan Fay is a gay Catholic leader with the organization Dignity. He joins us now. All right, Brendan, what about that? Why not? You suspend, you let the investigation play out. You think that's wrong?
Right. I think what we need is this priest, this man, is entitled to an investigation first. But really what this issue points to is the broader question of the greater percentage of clergy who are gay, and that the church itself, as a Catholic, I can tell you that we have cultivated a culture of silence. Too many are in the closet, and I hope what comes out of this is that we're able to address the question more openly and more honestly.
Do you really want
Catholic community?
Do you really want this case to be the jumping off point for the issue of homosexuality in the church?
Yes, I think. Well, we've been debating and discussing this issue for many years. In fact, I'm working on a documentary now about, priests in New York who were involved in calling for reform around this very issue in the church. We need really greater honesty and a more honest conversation around the issue of being gay and being Catholic. There is no doubt about the question that there are many priests who are gay and always have been.
All right.
And will continue to be.
Brendan, let's get back to the issue at hand with Msgr Stenico. Just to get you on the record, did he do anything wrong here? Hitting on a guy in his office inside the Vatican. Do you think that's wrong?
I believe that, first of all, I think there are two issues here. First of all, we have no evidence of any indication. I really don't know the details of the case. All I know is that we have a priest who on Italian television said that he was gay, made a pass at a young man. That's all we have. And then we have the other details of being suspended by Vatican officials. If anything, as a church, we're called to be a community of mercy, of compassion, of forgiveness, of openness, of honesty. They're the values we stand for. I would like to have seen an investigation first prior to suspension. I also would like to hear a word from Vatican officials calling for and reminding Catholics of that we need of calling for compassion for those in the community who are gay or who are lesbian, bisexual and transgender.
All right, let's get Pia back in on this. Pia, this is an embarrassment. We'd stated that. Is there any way this Monsignor gets treated unfairly?
I think that we're treating him with the most compassion by suspending judgment until an investigation is concluded. I mean, that's treating someone with compassion. No one has said, he's the only one that said he's gay. The Vatican hasn't. The Vatican didn't even name him. He's the one that went to the press and named himself and identified himself. And at the end of the day, this is not a question, it's not a gay issue. Priests are called to celibacy regardless of their sexual orientation, regardless of their sexual preference. They're called to celibacy. And, we have to look, what is the situation here? You have somebody who's soliciting, who's on chat rooms soliciting sex, it looks like. It's set up as a sting, and he does all of this within his office, within the place that he works. Any professional organization would kind of raise its head and say, wait a minute, what's going on here? So I think it's wrong to turn this into a gay issue. The real issue is, first of all, what is professional, and secondly, what is the norm for priests? The Catholic Church has said celibacy. The Catholic Church does not identify people according to their sexual preference or their sexual orientation.
Brendan, we got about 20 seconds. Isn't it just that simple? That's the Catholic Church doctrine: celibacy or you're out.
But of course, celibacy was not always a requirement of the Catholic Church.
But it is now.
Peter himself was married. Yes, it is now. Although, of course, if you're Protestant and you convert to Catholicism, you don't leave your wife behind. You're granted a power. So we have, in fact, many priests who are married within the Catholic Church in the United States. So it's not that simple.
All right. Well,
in this case, I hope
that's a different issue, Brendan.
This will bring up dialogue and openness for gay people in the church. And I pray for healing and forgiveness for this Monsignor in the Vatican.
All right. Brendan Fay and Dr. Pia De Solenni, we appreciate your time. We wish we could continue, but the clock, as usual, not our friend. Thank you again. And, well, we'd like to turn it over to you now. What do you think about this? Did the church act too quickly, too harshly, or maybe not harshly enough?